With that being said, did Pimp C really have a tape of somebody in the industry that would break the internet?
But yeah, it is a tape, and if you read the comments, a lot of people figured out. A lot of people figured out because, you know, people that was in Houston at the time, they know who was a little loose, you know, as a Montana goose. You know what I mean? So, you know, they also know who was having money at the time. So it's not really hard to figure out.
I know who let them models stick them dildos in them, and I know who did what, where, when, and why.
Wow. So now we're in a situation where no one in the public is going to be able to see those freak-offs. They will have privacy screens. The jurors will, on their computers, on their monitors in front of them. They will be the only ones that get to view that. The direct examination has begun.
Fans are asking, did Jay-Z kill Pimp C to protect Beyoncé because things got rough in court? That's right, you heard that right. A secret tape that Pimp C is said to have made is now being shown in court. According to insiders, this recording might reveal everything from intimate confessions with Beyoncé to nefarious tactics by Jay-Z and Diddy. If what people say is true, the tape might be the real reason Pimp C was found dead. The recording seems to show him and Bey. Jay would not have kept quiet for so long if Pimp had made a tape with Bey. Fans have been whispering for a long time about what really happened in that hotel room, but now that the feds have stepped in, it appears that we may finally receive answers. Is there any truth to the rumors, and did Jay truly kill Pimp? Let's find out. According to reports, the feds plan to play Pimp C's secret audio during the trial, perhaps implicating Diddy's friends, Jay-Z and Beyoncé. Someone has said that Pimp C and Beyoncé were having sex in the bedroom for 4 years. In an interview, Pimp and Ken pretty much confirmed that the video existed. Their story was that it was a big deal, and TMZ would have paid for it.
They mentioned Pimp C earlier. With that being said, did Pimp C really have a tape of somebody in the industry that would break the internet? You look like you done seen it, Marvin.
Marvin seen it. Tell him who it is.
Hey, man, tell him who it is. We still trying to find out who was in this Pimp C tape.
All I can tell you, that was a famous R&B chick. It was a guy that was getting money at the time. And, you know, Pimp, he used to be in the studio, and every now and then he'd have a camcorder, so he was able to get some footage. And he wanted to do something with the footage, but I don't know why he didn't do nothing with it. But if I could have got a hold of that tape, I'd be a billionaire, man. Whoever it was, they had to kill me, man. I know TMZ would have paid a bank for that one, man. But yeah, it is.
Pimpin' didn't seem to want to say anything. He said he wanted to do what Pimpy wanted and keep things quiet. However, he claimed that he had indeed watched the tape.
It is a tape, and if you read the comments, a lot of people figured out. A lot of people figured out because, you know, people that was in Houston at the time, they know who was a little loose, you know, as a Montana goose. You know what I mean? So, you know, they also know who was having money at the time. So it's not really hard to figure out.
When the journalist pressed him for more information, Pimpin' gave hints about who was in the video. He stated that the tape included one of the world's biggest R&B ladies. She was at the studio when the recording happened, but Pimp was not on the tape.
Was it a decent tape, by the way?
Well, you know, we was sitting at his mama house, and I was showing him my movie that was yet to come out, Pimpology. And so he said, Ken, I got something to show you, man. So he seen it, you know, me, you know, I'm saying, man, you know, me coming from the P world, you know, I ain't trying to see no.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I seen who it was. I was like, damn, her? I said, man, damn, she R&B, ain't she? You know what I'm saying?
Big time.
I said, him? I said, man, he married and he got a bank. You know what I'm saying? I said, I hope this don't get out. So it was more like that with me. So, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it wasn't no real, like, tape. They were just getting their freak on. You know what I'm saying?
In the studio.
In the studio, and Pimp just had a camcorder. He was in the booth. You know what I'm saying?
So, based on who Pimp was hanging out with at the time and the indications he dropped, it was easy to figure out who he was talking to. It was Queen Bey herself. People initially ignored what Pimpin' was saying, but now fans understand he was telling the truth, which is not surprising. According to one admirer, Boz, parents exploited her for money while hiding behind Southern faith for years. It's no wonder that the cycle repeats.
She was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls.
Aside from Bun B, the other half of UGK stated that Jay was jealous of Pimp C. One time, Pimp and Bey were in the studio together, and Jay called to see who was there and what Bey was wearing.
None of us have ever really been this close to her as the full-fledged superstar that she is now. I think this is during the scene with the chairs. So it's like her and several other girls, and they all have these short skirts on or dresses, whatever, and they're all dancing seductively on the chair. They've got a leg up on the chair so you can kind of see the thigh and maybe a little bit of butt if you're staring hard enough. And Jay-Z calls and talks to one of her assistants. If I had to guess, it would be her cousin Angie that he would have talked to, because Angie has always been the right hand to Beyonce. And he's like, yeah, how's the video going? Oh, it's going good. Or are the guys there? Yeah, they're there. You know, it's them and some of their homies. And we're all of the guys that are with us are the only men there. And well, let's say this. There were other men there, but they weren't straight.
Sure.
So he's like, wait a minute, how many dudes are there? And so she's like, oh, it's about 9 or 10 guys, I guess, over there. Where are they now? They're in here. They're in the soundstage. They're kind of watching, watching her film. What is she wearing?
When Jay saw she was wearing a provocative attire, he ordered the males to leave the studio immediately, so Pimp and the others were taken to their dressing rooms. Later, Ba came over to apologize, saying that Jay was uncomfortable with her dancing in front of other men.
Describe the outfit, and he's like, yo, clear the room.
Wow.
So they immediately come over to us, and they kick all of us out, send us up to our dressing rooms.
Wow.
And we're told to stay there until we have to shoot.
Okay.
We're not allowed to watch Beyonce dance anymore in the video. And so I guess Beyonce gets wind of the call. She comes up and she apologizes to us for having to, I'm so sorry you guys had to leave the room, but Jay's not comfortable.
It's easy to think Jay had nightmares about Pimp snatching his woman, but that wasn't his main issue, according to Bun B. Ba's father, Matthew, once asked Pimp to take him out for a good time, if you get what we mean. This was before Destiny's Child rose to fame, and the girl group was in the same facility recording when Pimp walked by to say hello. Ba was shocked she wasn't more famous at the time, but it appears her father noticed how they interacted and tried to capitalize on the chance.
A lot of our guys in there's a shit ton of Rap-A-Lot guys in the building, and Destiny's Child is recording in another room in the studio. And so Pimp goes in, they're like, Destiny Child over. He's like, oh, I want to meet them. They tight. He goes in and he introduces himself, and I guess Beyonce was kind of taken aback that she was beating Pimp C. Again, this was before Destiny's Child was a worldwide phenomenon. And so he comes back in the studio, and we're recording and hanging out, and Matthew Knowles comes in, and he asks Pimp, can I talk to you for a minute? And so they leave out for a couple of minutes, and Pimp comes in, and he's dying laughing. We're like, what's wrong? He's like, yo, Matthew Knowles just told me to his daughter, man.
Parts like, I'm like, what happened to my guy?
Right. And
then they come out with the official. It was a mixture of some stuff, the prescription and something else or something that I don't really know. But with me, I never really heard something that would give that closure for me. I never really heard anything tangible or true, like what happened to my guy.
Right.
So
That's crazy.
I have this theory that's bigger than just Pimp C.
Another too-brief interview stated, I can't believe it's been 10 years, and I still have never, to this day, been able to accept the circumstances. Doc commented on how strange it is that celebs keep dying in hotel rooms, always alone. He responded, what the hell is going on with celebrities in hotel rooms? Then he mentioned the 27 Club, which was made up of famous musicians who died at the age of 27. For those who are unfamiliar, the 27 Club is a weird idea in which performers are frequently targeted at that age, and it is not a rumor. Consider what happened to Amy Winehouse, Kurt Cobain, and Jimi Hendrix. So Short's comments sparked even more speculation in Hollywood. It would not be the first time someone was taken out in this way. There are many methods to make a death look accidental. Fans have also pointed out weird aspects in other cases, such as Kim Porter's pneumonia, Prince's overdose, and DMX's unexpected death. In all of those cases, people think there was a cover-up, but just as with Pimp, everything was buried and the real individuals got away with it, but not this time. Pimp's tape will be played for a jury, and the feds may finally investigate the case, and guess what? They are looking in Jay's way. Why? Because, not only did Pimp tag her woman and shoot a video, but the entire event had Jay's ammo written all over it.
I'm like, all right, let's do it. And Pimp like, I'm not going no mother Trinidad, shoot no goddamn video. Because he had just bought a new car. He had a new lady friend at the time. And he felt he didn't want to leave the situation to go do the video.
Jay had more than one cause to be upset at Pimp. The two worked in 1999 on Big Pimpin', which became a huge hit, but things weren't going well behind the scenes. In a 2005 MTV interview, Pimp said, "It sounded like a pop record to me. I didn't want to do it. It terrified me because I didn't know how people would steer us in that way. But I remember Jay telling me, look, family, it's going to be the biggest record of your career. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for me." That was sufficient for me, so I hopped on it. You'd think they'd get along after that hit, but Pimp had always hated Jay and made no secret of it. According to Bun B, when it came time to film the movie, Pimp played them.
Who's that with? I said, with Rockefeller. He was like, what? I was like, yeah. He was like, I watched it then with the checkbook he writing out. He was like, ain't that with, over there with Jay-Z? I was like, yeah. He was like, man, tell him to take that check and go give it to Tupac Mama, man. He's gonna be stealing all my shit. I was like, what?
Yes, he did it only to mess with Jay, but why the beef? Pimp wanted Jay to do right by Pac by giving $1 million from the partnership to Pac's mother. Unfortunately, Jay overheard everything, and if there's one thing Jay despises, it's when people question his power, but that's not the whole story. Pimp began revealing the truth about how Jay and Diddy functioned in the music business. In an interview, he stated that he knew how they moved and that he did not want to be a part of that lifestyle because he was a family man.
You never been. And watch this, boy. I'm gonna say this too. These niggas out there think this shit is cool, but it ain't cool. Me and this man ain't never been butt naked in no room together with no hoes.
Joe to see a Puffy on any of them niggas. They been at my house. They all see me. They all know I'm a big.
Yeah. Pulling no orgy type shit or doing none of that whole ass shit you out there be doing, thinking you doing some fly shit. If you're in a room naked with some other and some broad and looking at your ass. And if that shit is gay and you need to get on some other shit. Me and this man got nothing but respect for each other. We ain't never pulling no train. We ain't no motherfucking freaks. We some family men. We getting this paper. You know what I'm talking about? And I had to put that out there, boy, because a lot of niggas doing a lot of fugazi.
I know who let them models stick them dildos in them, and I know who did what, where, when, and why.
Wow.